First up, two deadly blasts rocked the Afghanistan capital Kabul this morning. At least 29 people have been killed and 45 others injured in the blast. And the blast happened at the Shashadarak in the central area of Kabul, which has a number of foreign offices as well. The Islamic State has claimed responsibility for the attacks. Moreover, 8 journalists are among the 29 casualties, including a renowned photographer who had written about dangers of reporting in the Afghan capital. The journalists were killed after a bomber disguised as a camera person detonated a second bomb at earlier a site of explosion. Now, the first blast in the morning led to reporters rushing to the area of the city where US Embassy and Afghan government buildings are also located. Now, the second attack came after the disguised bomber detonated explosives as journalists huddled around the scene. The dastardly attack comes after a spate of attacks in Afghanistan in recent weeks. And also after willingness expressed by some factions of Taliban expressing to pursue peace talks with the Afghan government. Meanwhile, another suicide car bomb attack took place in Kandahar region of Afghanistan. 6 soldiers have been wounded, 11 civilians killed and 9 others were wounded there. Now, according to Afghan Ministry of Education, 12 madrasa students have also been killed in that blast. The attack was targeted on a NATO convoy. Joining me on this program is our senior international correspondent, Daniel Pagani. Daniel, it's shocking to see that the bomb was detonated, especially where the journalists were. And this has, in fact, we were reading on Twitter as well, the Afghan photographer who had documented the dangers of reporting in Afghanistan had written a really prolific piece, of that particular block there, which we're all talking about. Enlighten us about that, and what is the situation on ground as well?
I couldn't find a worse example of how tragic it is to be a journalist, but not only how tragic it is to be a citizen of Afghanistan in this time of history. To go a little bit into the detail of the story, as you correctly pointed out, 29 victims, among them 8, maybe 9. It's not clear if the last one is a journalist or not. It doesn't really change. They're all victims anyway. What happened is that 2 twin suicide bombs happened, one shortly after the other exploded. This is a tactic that normally terrorists use. The first explosion takes place. Therefore, right after that, normally the media or the rescuers, most importantly, quickly join the venue, quickly join the place where the first attack took place. And that is the moment when another bomb takes place. It's a normal strategy, unfortunately, that terrorists use to maximize the number of victims. And this is precisely what happened in Afghanistan. In an Afghanistan which is seeing a very worrying deterioration of the security situation, not only in Kabul, but in the entire country. As you pointed out, also in Kandahar, there has been another attack targeting a NATO convoy, but then ultimately killing even 12 students.
Right, Daniel, and how is the international community responding to this? Because the region we're talking about were also a lot of embassies as well, and what we've been hearing is that they were specifically targeted, especially a NATO envoy too.
The targeting NATO forces in Kandahar, specifically a convoy where Romanian soldiers were, it has been a constant. The Taliban and the Islamic State of Khorasan province, which is what we call the chapter of the Islamic State present in Afghanistan, declared war against all foreign troops. So the pattern of their attack is obviously against foreign troops, but also against all those people who are not, so to say, afraid to live under government control. This is also psychological warfare. Taliban and the Islamic State wants the people of Afghanistan not to feel safe anywhere. This is a way to show that the government is not capable of granting safety to them, and therefore the government is incapable of ensuring the future of Afghanistan because it is too much an ally of Western forces and foreign forces who are ruling over Afghanistan. So this is unfortunately the status of Afghanistan. You said correctly, this attack takes place less than 1 kilometer from the United States Embassy in Kabul, one of the most expensive buildings that the United States administration has on foreign soil. And despite that, the level of security has not been capable of detecting this attack, and it's not the first time.
Right, Daniel Pagani, thank you for joining us in the program and giving us those details.